Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. So today's topic is artificial intelligence, AI. I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there's a lot of all of the above. It has been, if you're not familiar with artificial intelligence, it is the technology behind so many things that we are doing today that are replacing people's jobs. So it's a bit scary. That's the bad and the ugly is that so many people count on a job they've done for 20 or 30 years. They didn't plan on doing anything different in their, end of their working years. And now they're forced to do other things. If you've taken an Uber anytime recently, you'll meet a lot of Uber drivers that are like, oh, I used to be a this, I used to be a that, and they've been replaced by artificial intelligence. So in our world of being a hairstylist, there is some good, but some not so good. So I wanted to share with you the reason I even thought of doing this topic. I was playing around on TikTok, just scrolling, and I saw that yearbook photo filter where you click the button and it says what you look like in your yearbook. Wow. I don't know if I did something wrong or if I know I've been told many times I have very masculine energy and I'm in agreement with that, but it turned me into a dude, and the dude looks like my husband's cousin's son, almost identical, same haircut and everything from when he was in high school. So this is what artificial intelligence claims that I would look like in my yearbook. So I saw that and I was like, what? Really? That's who I look like? And my hair was down. It wasn't like I had my hair in a ponytail, so I thought that I was a boy, which could happen. I've often been told I look like my brother is wearing a wig. I have the same face as him. So I did it again. And the second try was just as bad. It was, not really sure of the gender in between, I guess. So epic fail both times. So then, of course, I'm like going down the rabbit hole of what other filters are there that I can play with, and are they good or bad or useful in the salon world? So of course, I'm very intrigued by anything that's going to show someone what their hair color would look like before we do it. So last week, of course, I just cleaned off my desk. See what happens, Jeffrey, when I clean off my desk? Here's a straggler. So I leave shit all over my desk because I always grab it during these coffee chats. But we talked about these clip-in bangs last week and how we can show a client what they'll look like before we actually color their hair. But of course, there's always technology for these things and not, a physical in-person thing. So I started doing hair color filters. And I was like, oh boy, this is kind of scary. We can really get replaced because if an app can show someone what their color would look like by pushing a button, it can also show them in a drugstore aisle what color box to buy to turn their hair that color. So I was like, okay, time to do some recon so that we don't all get replaced by artificial intelligence. So I'm not worried, not just yet. So this is what artificial intelligence says is the best look for me. I do not agree. I think it could not be a worse choice for me. And here's why. I'm not saying that hair color is awful on anyone. I think it's awful on me. I have very pink undertones in my skin. I have blue eyes. I'm fair. Nothing about this color complements my face. In order to pull that off and make that work, I would have to change all of my makeup, all of the clothing colors that I wear. Everything would be fighting with my skin tone with that shade. So that was the first attempt. So then I did a different app. And if you saw the teasers for this coffee chat, it was a very blue, palest blue gray. And it just, I thought aged me. It was not my favorite. That was a little reel that I did. I don't have that on here to share. But you may have seen that floating around on the teaser. And I think it's on this page if you look when this is over. And then this was the other shade that it said. So I have often toyed with the idea of doing the palest palest blush pink, borderline blonde beige with just a shadow of the palest pink, not this shade. So again, I mean, in my opinion, this ages me. I'm not a fan at all, but this is what artificial intelligence says is the shade for me. So I think I'll stick with my blonde. And if I do the pink, I will most likely pre-tone my hair with a violet because I still have a little urine yellow that Florida brings me every time I wash my hair. I would pre-tone with violet, and then I would probably do a palest pink colored conditioner mixed with regular conditioner, like shear that thing out so that it's like pink. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe around the holidays because I don't have any filming to do in December. I like to keep my hair pretty much the same because I do videos that have to last my lifetime at least. So let's talk about the good of artificial intelligence. So Bryn texted me one day and I happened to be on the beach and I was enjoying my beach time and I knew that I got all of my work done. I'm very responsible. I'm very, I'm on it. If you give me a project, I'm on it. I meet my deadlines. I never fail with my deadlines. So I knew I didn't have any work. I went to the beach and Bryn's like, oh, I need you to do quick copy for an email to this list. I'm like, Bryn, I'm on the beach. I don't feel like packing up all my stuff. I said, you know what? I'm going to use ChatGPT. So I went on ChatGPT and I put in the topic and it gave me a guideline. I did not just copy and paste it because it doesn't sound like me, but it gave me such good sticking points and guidelines for what I was trying to say. And of course, their version was very eloquent and awesome, but that's not how I talk to people on my mailing list. So I reword it, a lot of it in my tone and the way that I would say it, but it was a great starting point where I didn't have to sit there with a blank page staring at me, wondering what the heck to say. Another way that I use it a lot is recipes. You can go on and say, this is what I do. I have ground beef, 2 green peppers, an onion, garlic. I name like a bunch of ingredients that I have and I say, create a recipe for me. And it shoots out a recipe, I had 1 potato with that recipe. I was like, I have 1 potato, ground beef, da, da, da. It made this oven baked, almost like pseudo lasagna type thing that was so quick and easy to put together. It was delicious. I never would have made that any other way. I'm not a big cookbook person. And I was like, this is cool. So that's great. Recipes, those sort of things. And coming up with names for things. I have to keep naming classes that I come up with. And I'm like, I want to have a new clever class. So I'm doing an in-person event. So I went into AI and said, create names for me for a 1-day event that is about hair color and this and that. I did all the things and it came up with all these different options, which is great. So it's like your mind on steroids of you thinking of new and fabulous ideas. So take advantage of it for that. I'm not so sure that we're ready to take advantage of it picking hair color. And to that extreme, the Chi color machine. When I saw that there was a machine that was going to formulate color and mix color custom in a machine where you're not running out of tubes of color, I thought, this is amazing. Like I may have to switch to Chi color just for this because I'm so tired of running out of 7N and all the colors that we use a lot of and constantly monitoring inventory. And this machine is going to be a lot smarter than me in making sure that I have what I need. So I went to the Behind the Chair show, I guess it was 2 Augusts ago. It was hot as hell in Orlando. I regretted my decision as soon as I got there. I was like, why am I in Orlando in August? But I went to the show and the Chi machine was one of the biggest draws that I went for because I wanted to see it and play with it in person. So I walked over to it and I put my face in the thing and I said, I want my hair to be, and I gave it, whatever buttons. And it formulated me where I would be so brassy and orange. And I was like, okay, epic fail, disappointment. It's doing what it's supposed to do, but it's doing formulation based on how the manufacturer says to formulate. And that's not how I formulate. And that's not how I teach formulation. And every time I've done it their way, the results have been poor. So I'm excited for those of you on here that are coming to the workshop that starts tomorrow night. I'm really excited to see all of you tomorrow night. You'll see why I don't do it that way and why I don't teach it that way and why it's not a predictable method for formulation. So whole other subject for tomorrow, but that was about relevant to the Chi machine. So that's something that I will not be buying. I will not be using. I will not be switching to because it's just not quite there yet. But back to the other ways to use it. So I travel a lot and I get this anxiety of when I'm going somewhere, I'm terrible with maps, right? I have no idea. Like I'll say, oh, that's on the way, right? My husband's like, no, that's 30 miles south. I'm like, how do you know that? So I can go in using AI and say, I'm traveling to, I did it last night just to have it ready for this. I'm traveling to Italy, going to Rome and Amalfi. Please create an itinerary for me because the computer is so much smarter than me where it's going to be like, okay, well, if you're coming from here, the best way is to fly into Rome. Unfortunately, it has completely replaced travel agents for me. I love my travel agent. I still will call her about certain things, but I just spent an entire month in Europe and never used a travel agent and never missed anything that I wanted to check off my list because I used artificial intelligence. So this is an example of an itinerary for Rome and Amalfi. Arrive at the airport in Rome, check into your hotel, relax and recover from your journey. In the evening, take a leisurely walk around the historic center and enjoy your first taste of Italian cuisine at a local restaurant. Now, you can take it a step further and say, create an itinerary for me starting in Rome, including recommended restaurants near me, and it'll actually give you the name and the links to make your reservations for. It's incredible, but it only does what you tell it. I just said create me an itinerary. Day 2, explore Rome, visit Colosseum and Roman Forum, explore Palatine Hill. I've never been to Palatine Hill, so that's a recommendation that I missed because I didn't use this. Have lunch near the Roman Forum, visit the Pantheon. That's my favorite square, the Pantheon, and enjoy gelato near the Trevi Fountain. So you can see day 3, Vatican City. So it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But my concern is I wrote the book behind me, A Colorful Journey. It took me a while to write that book. Now, I don't claim for it to be a Pulitzer Prize winning novel. I was not writing it as trying to be an esteemed author. I was trying to share with other hairstylists just like you how and why I do the things that I do as a colorist and what I learned along my journey that I want you to get way faster than I got. That was my intention. So I'm sure there's grammatical errors. I'm sure there's not a semicolon when there's supposed to be, but I wrote the book in the voice of me telling you in a physical class. The way that I speak in the book is the way, of course, I don't have one here, the way that I would speak to you in person. And anybody who has my book, that's one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten. I'll check the comments. One of the biggest compliments I've gotten is now that they're, a member of my coaching group, they go, when I read your book now, I can hear you saying it. Like you say it in the book exactly how you say it when you teach. And that to me is a compliment. I love that because that's what the intention was. So I tried to bring it up today to show you how quickly I can write a book on there, but it said it's completely full and that I have to wait. Okay. Yeah, we're experiencing exceptionally high demand. Please hang tight as we work on our system, but I'm still going to try. Write me a book about a little girl with very curly hair who loves her pet goldfish. It's just a random thing. So right now it's taking a long time because they're saying that they're overloaded. I guess you guys are all on there trying to do it now that I'm talking about it, but it's not doing it right away. But I'll leave that up. And then if it comes up, usually literally within a minute, it'll be, there once was a girl with extremely curly hair. She lived near the ocean. It's this whole, and like I've done it at cocktail parties where I'm like, what would you write a book about if you could write a book? And then I, say it into the thing and it writes an entire 12 chapter book about it in seconds. It's crazy. So yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, it's still frozen. I'm gonna cut it out because I don't want to take up space for someone who is actually using it right now. So AI for travel, Natalie, or AI for anything is chat. Let me see the exact. It's chat.openai.com. Chat.openai.com. It's not going to work right now. But when you go on, I give it better prompts because I'm used to using it now, where I say, act like a travel agent and create an itinerary for me going from Tampa to Rome, for instance. And the recipe, act like, a restaurant owner, or act like a chef, or act like a cook, or act like whatever, to give it that prompt to like go to those places to find the information. Kim, my book is available on my website. I'm going to put the website in the chat. It's available anytime. I sign it and send it to you with love and a little love note. I have both the digital and the paperback. So it's expertcolorsolutions.com. I'm looking at the comments now. Just everybody saying hello. And Karen, I just answered your question with the chat. Let me see, chat.openai.com. So it can be fun. It's a good conversation starter if you're at a cocktail party. It's fun to just mess around with and see what it comes up with. But like anything, well, here's the problem. The artificial intelligence goes to the World Wide Web to get the information. And there's different versions. The free version that I'm telling you about and that I use, I think it can only access information up to like maybe 2020, something like it's about 3 years behind totally being current. So you have to be careful because it's taking information from all different sources. And those sources can be somebody. How many times have you gone to a hair class and someone teaches you something? Like I just saw a post where people were saying, if you use 30 volume and 10 volume together, it makes 40 volume. Like if you go to a class and somebody teaches you that and you think you're getting 40 volume from mixing 30 and 10, you're not going to get the result that you're looking for. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. So you want to take it with a grain of salt, take it as a starting point and really understand what it is that you're then regurgitating, because not everything that's posted online is true. So that leads me to the ugly, the very, very ugly. So early in with this artificial intelligence, with every good thing, it's the yin and yang. With every good, achievement in technology, there's always something negative. So with Airbnbs, for instance, my son and I were just talking about this. So people get into the Airbnb business because they want to help families be able to travel, less expensively and have a full house and not be all crammed in a hotel room. And people abuse, the privilege of an Airbnb, and they have these big parties and they wreck the house and all the things. And people have figured out the law of how many days you have to stay in someone's house that you get squatters' rights. So now people are going and renting an Airbnb and then they're just not leaving. So the law is for the squatter, believe it or not. My parents own real estate and we've gone through it a lot with that. So there's always that yin and yang. There's always that negative. So in the AI space, one of the first negatives is I come on here every single week for over 7 years and talk to you about hair color and all things salon. So my voice is very easy to capture all over the internet. I used to be on Periscope. I have a podcast. I'm here on the coffee chat. I'm on YouTube. My voice is everywhere, whether you like it or not. It's so damn froggy, but it is what it is. So if someone wanted to really, take me down and do mean things to me, they could take my voice and create an avatar of me using my own voice. And it would be a video just like this. You might not even know that this is really me. This could be an avatar of me, but that's how crazy it is. They can create an avatar, have it be my voice, and spew out all these negative things and my opinion on things that's really not me. And how am I ever going to go and clean that up? And you're going to believe that's not really me. The other thing was phone calls. You've heard about the scams with phone calls to like a grandmom saying, your grandson's in trouble. Hi, grandmom, it's me. I'm in trouble. And it's my son Jack's voice calling my mom. She would 100% wire $5,000 if he was in trouble. So they're taking the person's real voice, having them call an elderly person who doesn't know what AI is, and doing these mean things and getting money. I have a client whose father got scammed. He worked closely with the police. He was like a volunteer in the police department in White Marsh, where I used to live. And he got scammed out of 10 grand because they, said, this is your grandson. I'm in trouble. My car broke down, whatever it was. He wired the money to this person and he lost $10,000. It's really super scary. So knowing when and how to use it for the good, not the bad, and not the ugly. Again, Johnny said he's just joining me, so I have to make him laugh. This is the ugly of artificial intelligence saying, how dare they, Johnny, tell me that you should be making me this awful color? So I'm going to stick with what Johnny and Alicia do, and what I like to be is blonde and not listen to. And Johnny, I think I showed you this already because I had him do it. This is my high school me. I guess I was a little confused. So yeah, definitely use it for the good and how it can do. What do I go to for helping me word things? Natalie, just word it the way you would ask me a question. Like if you were to say, let me see if it's up. Let's try it again. Apparently at 10:30 a.m. on a Wednesday is a very popular time for using it. I guess they're trying to get people to buy it now. Like an example is, tell me a fun fact about the Roman Empire. That comes up on their page. Help me write a thank you note to my interviewer. Create a personal web page for me. Compare business strategies from transitioning from budget to luxury. So you just talk to it. So create a recipe for me using ground beef, a potato, garlic, and cheese. Says, sure, here's a delicious recipe. 1 pound ground beef, black pepper, yada, yada, yada. Preheat the oven. It's exactly every single, it just used I said ground beef, potato, garlic, and cheese. It says they added all-purpose flour, which I would not have on hand because I don't bake. So there are some things that it'll say that you don't have in stock, but it's literally that easy, Natalie. Very easy to just talk to it, just like you would talk to a person. I've gone on and said, what's an appropriate gift for a 30th birthday party or the 30th birthday, or what is the current going rate for a wedding gift, anything like that. It's just like using Google, but it's like Google on steroids because Google is taking it from certain parts, but this is taking it from the entire web over, an average of every year since the web has existed. So yeah, that is my 2 cents about artificial intelligence. The good things are my husband and I went on a boat ride yesterday. It became like Gilligan's Island. We hit a sandbar and we're stranded. So luckily we both have iPhones and we were able to call for the Sea-Doo tow truck, which they couldn't get us out because we were so shallow where we were. But knowing that we had contact with help, whatever that looked like, we were able to put our finger on the map, copy and paste our coordinates. I don't know how to do coordinates. I don't know how to use a compass. I don't know where I am when I'm out on the water. So knowing that we had technology on our side, we had, a barge full of Florida men, some characters that were out there that rescued us. So, it was good, but we were stranded for quite a while. So it was a much different date than I anticipated. But, what's the difference? Whether we're driving around out in the water or we're sitting there, I got to actually read a few chapters of a book. And I have to say, if we were not stranded, I would not have read because I get motion sick, so I can't move. And yes, Kelly, that is the free version. Kelly asked, is there a free version? Oops, wrong one. The free version is the chat.openai.com. And that's why it's so busy right now, because it's free. So if you end up using it for your business, like I think at some point we're probably going to pay for it for my business, because we need to step it up and have like a much more intuitive version for all the new project that we're working on, which Hair Color Secrets Insiders, hang tight. We are going to be doing a special event and inviting all of you for the, be the first to know about it event. So you did not miss anything yet. We're still fine tuning some things, but the results that we are getting, I'm going to share it with you right now, actually. She just sent it to me and oh my goodness. So she said, total value of leads right now in the pipeline so far. So we are using our own salon as the beta test for this platform. So far, $2,244 booked. So they are on the books, booked for this offer. I don't have the total of checked out yet, but is already close to 1,000 already. And we have another 41 leads that are in the pipeline that haven't been booked yet. So right now, we're getting so many new clients on this platform for our salon that now there's a wait list. So we went from this girl needs clients desperately to 41 people in the pipeline we can't get in because we have too many. So it breaks my heart when I see people posting in forums saying, I can't, someone just wrote to me last night, I can't make it to the live workshop because I have a bartending job as a side hustle. I don't want you to have a bartending job. I don't want you to have a waitressing job, an Uber job, a nanny job, a house cleaning job. I want you to live in your purpose as a hairstylist and make 6 figures doing what you love. So if it's clients that you need, please reach out. We can get you clients. It's very simple, because the good of AI is what we are doing in this platform. We are using the ability to be able to comb and scrape and find, clients all around you that you couldn't do yourself. You're going to be getting clients while you sleep. Amazing. Angie, I told you it's coming. Yeah, I saw your message and I did send it to Bryn and Jack, and they're almost ready to do the whole spiel and show you. They're doing the PowerPoint. They want to show you all the who, what, why, when, how. But when I tell you, it is definitely a game changer. So if it's just getting I shouldn't even say just, it's getting new clients, getting clients to leave your reviews, getting clients to refer you, getting all of your SEO, everything is going to be improved automatically. So that is the beauty of technology. For Jennifer, it's exactly, I'm going to do it again, chat.openai.com. That's all you have to type into your browser. That is the website. So I am so excited to see a lot of you tomorrow. I see that Pam is on here, Tracy, Angie, Donna. You guys are not missing anything. This workshop is the workshop that you did when you joined Hair Color Secrets Insider. So please do not buy the workshop. You're going to see all kinds of things like last call, do not buy it. You guys already have this in your library, and I'm so happy for your support, but I don't want you buying things you don't need. So I will see many of you tomorrow evening in part 1 of the Hair Color Formulation Simplified workshop. This is launch season for the membership. So you will be seeing a lot of me all over Instagram and Facebook and all of the places, because I want to help as many hairstylists as I possibly can. I have gotten so many beautiful testimonials this week, and I swear you guys just know that I need that when I need it. Anytime I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, can I really do this again? Like, it takes so much energy. My current members send me the most beautiful, heartfelt notes about the transformation in their confidence in formulating and highlighting in all of the things. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. That's why I wake up every Wednesday morning to come here and do these coffee chats. That's what fuels me as an educator, as a mentor, as someone who eats, sleeps, breathes all things hair color. I so appreciate every single one of you for always coming back to the coffee chats, always being here, supporting me. I just celebrated 10,000 downloads on my podcast. That is so thrilling to me because sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself and nobody really even knows about the podcast. So if you haven't checked out the podcast, I hope you will. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel, I hope you will. There's tons of value on that YouTube channel, and a lot of people don't know it's there. So it's just my name, Elaine Travis. Check it out. Enjoy it. I saw a couple people on here asking about the book. It is on my my website, expertcolorsolutions.com. You can get the digital or the physical copy. I like the physical copy. I'm a physical book girl. I do have a Kindle, but I tend to anything that's like business or strategy or anything like that, I like to have a hard copy. I like to put a million Post-it notes all over my books. So I'm a Post-it note girl because I'm so ADHD. So to that point, I was saying goodbye and the ADHD kicked in. So thanks again for being here. And I will see some of you tomorrow and I will see all of you next Wednesday. Thanks for watching.